Morning. Happy Monday. We are wrapping up March, which means quarter one is almost to an end. So I'd like everybody to take a moment real quick. I want you to write your yearly goal, and then I want you to divide that up in four and write on a piece of paper what your goal is. And then I want you to take a moment and write how many closings. I'm going to give everybody about 3 minutes to do this. It shouldn't take you that long. How many closings are under contract you have for quarter one. And then I want you to tell me your gap. So we're going to pause for a minute because we're almost done with the quarter. So I want us to do goal to gap, and it is an exercise, and this is not meant to make you feel guilty or bad. It is just to bring awareness and where you are. So if the first thing is to write your goal down and divide it by four. And then from there, I want you to write where you currently are in quarter one. And then I want you to write down your gap. Is everybody following me? It's a real feel good on a Monday morning. However, instead of looking at it negatively, let's look at it positively on how we can chunk down our goals to make sure that we fill the gap and not just pretend like we're doing and meeting those goals. When you're done, I'd love for y'all to hit your gaps in the chat, please, so that we can look at those for the brave souls out there. Leadership team that's on the call, this applies to us as well, and where we are with net. See, a lot of gap of 2. I've got a gap of 20 units. Who else? So 2 is not that hard. Gap of 1, that's not y'all. This is, and I don't think gap of 20 is that bad for me, honestly. I look at it as I just need 6 more units, 6 or 7 more units in quarter two in order to do that. And so I know as we have and continue to recruit for people with the, a standard of 12 units, that's really not that hard to do. Linda, you put gap of, I don't know, I think you might still be typing, gap of 17. So I want y'all to hear me say this. Linda and I have big numbers because we're doing this at scale, i.e. the farther you climb, the higher your goals are going to be because you're working within a team. But I want to make sure that everybody is aware of that. You need to put your gap somewhere. So if you got a gap of 2, and your goal is to get 2 deals a month, then you need to see either in April, May, June, when you're going to fill that gap, right? And what are the activities that you need to do to fill the gap? So I think it's important for y'all to go back and look at your sources. Is it a leads problem? Is it a conversion problem? Is it conversations problem? Where is the gap there? So that, or in activities, so that y'all can make sure that you play catch up in quarter two. So all that to say is I want to make sure that we have a real conversation there. Linda, where's COTD today? Where are we class of the day today?
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think we have much going on today at the office other than lead gen.
Perfect. I.e. play catch up on these numbers, you all. And then tomorrow, how many broker opens do we have?
None. Nobody submitted any. Well, there was one I was trying to work on, so I'll see if I can get that locked down, if they locked that down or not.
I do think Shauna's doing one. I think Lauren's doing one. Lauren, if that's correct, put the address in the chat, please, so that y'all have that. And then obviously we have team meeting as well on Tuesday. So let's get in activity today to fill those gaps. And we're now talking about value squared. I'm going to go back in here and we're on the buy side. And I'm going to go through this kind of slow because it was talking about compensation and what that looks like. So I want to talk about working with buyers. Let me get down here. Hold on one second. What is your job as a buyer's agent to do? Can somebody unmute yourself and tell me what
Educate.
it's educate? Okay, I love that. Educate what's currently going on the market. Yep. What else? So say you've educated somebody, Sam, and I'm not asking you specifically this question. I've educated someone, then what is, and they're ready to go through a loan pre-approval process and they're pre-approved. Now what is my job?
To find them the property that's the best investment that fits all their I won't say wants, but for sure needs.
Yes, to find them the property. Where are we finding the property? Sam doesn't have to be the only participant today. Sam, thank you. I love you for your participation. Where do we go find them a property?
MLS
MLS,
for sale by owner.
off market.
Thank you. Who said off market?
Derek,
Derek, why do we, where is your client searching?
Realtor.com, Zillow,
Hello.
Which is another form of MLS.
MLS.
So if I'm super clear on where my unique value proposition is, if you sign this agreement today, I will go find and hunt property that is not on MLS because here's what I know, Mr. and Miss Buyer, you already have access to that. I know you're clicking around on all these different sites. I know you already have access to MLS feeds. And so I'm going to let you keep doing that. I'll put you on a search so that you could get your home search in real time. But what I'm also going to do that most agents are not going to tell you that they're going to do is I'm going to go find you off market properties. So I think we miss this, y'all. I think that we feel like we're providing a service because of direct access to MLS. And while that used to be the case, that's not the case anymore. And the reason why I say that, just so everybody understands, is you have these third-party tech companies that are attached to our MLS, and they're getting that information online immediately. So where we used to say, hey, the difference between me and this third-party tech company is I'm going to get it immediately. It's going to take 24 to 48 hours for it to syndicate to these websites. So that's why you need to use me. But that's gone, just so everybody knows. It's immediately syndicating to these websites. So how are you going to differentiate yourself? And so the ways that I'm going to differentiate myself is off markets. What are things I can do to find off market properties? Somebody talk to me.
Circle prospect.
Circle prospect. Okay.
Go to,
So
we have final,
I love that.
final offer.
Circle prospect. So if I know I'm very clear that Derek wants to buy a home in whatever zip code, and then Derek's like, hey, I really love this neighborhood, then I can circle prospect, door knock that neighborhood, right? How can I circle prospect to agents?
You
Anyone?
can find agents that do business in that area and reach out to them about if they have anything coming.
I can look at market share in the immediate areas. I can look at for sale by owners. I can look at expired withdrawals that withdrew a year ago. Instead of me just looking at what withdrew right now, let me go fish in a pond of expireds and withdrawals that pulled it off the market a year ago. Right? But the key to this is getting very clear on what the buyer wants. So there's a couple of pieces of this. Sam, you nailed it. You number one got to educate so that people understand their options. Number two, you need to get them pre-approved. Number three, you've got to do a needs analysis to find out everything that they need, not just what they want, but like what are the four things that you need? And then it's my job to go hunt for it. This is our biggest opportunity as realtors is to stop just going by the MLS and praying that the right house pops up. If I can circle prospect, if I can look for off markets that withdrew, a year or so ago, if I can call agents and network to see what's coming on the market, right? If I could network within our office to find out what's coming up on the market. And the goal is for me as a buyer's agent, y'all, my game was I will find it before you. I'm going to find the property before you because I am going to be relentless about figuring out what you need. And then I'm also going to be quite pushy that if you think you don't want to see the house and I feel like you need to see the house because I think it's a great fit, I'm probably going to keep circle back with you until you agree to go see it. What are y'all hearing me say out of this?
Be aggressive and find them the property, find them options, make sure you're presenting options and solutions.
I love that. Teresa, and I know you do this as well. My goal is to be proactive versus reactive, right? Like I need to find them the right property. They don't need to find them the right property. I need to find them the right property that meets their timing needs and the best price, the fewest amount of hassles, right? So I love that. What else are you hearing me say?
I think what you're,
Fiduciary,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
fiduciary versus functionary.
Yes, sir. 100%. Functionary says, I'm going to wait for the MLS. Fiduciary says, I am going to go hunt for something. And now, y'all, the MLS may provide them with the property, but the goal is for you to get to the MLS so fast that they can't get to it. And that you're like, hey, Teresa, I know you've seen this search, but I'm thinking that based on what you need, we really need to go see this house together. And if you don't like it, cool. But I feel in my heart of hearts that this is a great property for you. And Teresa, what I'll do is I know you're at work. I'm going to go ahead and tour it right now. And I can tell you on a scale of 1 to 10 how much this will meet your needs and check your boxes. Love that. Sam, Teresa, go ahead.
I was saying that's exactly what I'm doing right now for a client in Germantown. I'm going to go preview them. And then that way I can give her personalized feedback and she'll appreciate it.
Because you're giving them their time back, right? Y'all, they're paying us to do the legwork. They're paying us to find the properties. They're paying us to negotiate the best price for them. Sam, you
It's
put
not-
expired FISBOs be the expert. Yes,
Mhm.
not the website. I love that. Who else? Somebody else is about to unmute.
Sarah, I set up searches to come to me for each one of my clients.
Same.
That way, as soon as they hit, I get them and I can vet them before they look at them.
Yeah, I love that, Derek. And y'all, if you have a listing coming up in whatever given area, I set up a search for that neighborhood, even if they're 6 months out from looking in that neighborhood, or I'm sorry, from selling, 6 months out from selling and me listing it, I'm setting up a search so I can track the market there as well. So set yourself up on searches, understand the inventory. And this is why it is such a key piece for y'all to go look at the properties. This is why we do broker open tours. This is why you should be out looking at open houses on Sundays if you're not working one, because you can't sell something on the shelf that you've never seen or understand. Linda, what?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's exactly exactly what we're talking about is the value, right? Like, know that most agents aren't doing those things, and that's why people feel like they don't see value because they're not showing it. So all of those things, you know, prove your value when you're telling them, hey, this is a great property. Hey, this is what we need to go see. And you're being the professional because that is what they hired you for. Or, hey, you know what? That's exactly what you told me you didn't want. Are you sure you want to go see that? Don't waste your time going to see stuff that you can nix from reading the property condition disclosure. Save them that time.
Well, I mean, I'm like, if you want to get your bed that you told me is this, I don't know, king bed, size bed, and you told me the last house, the room dimensions were too small, and all of a sudden you want to go see something that's quite similar, I'm going to give you a friendly nudge. Hey, is your bed going to fit in there? Or are we buying a new bed? I'm cool with whatever you want to do, but if that was wrong then, is that changed now? So like having those open conversations to help save them time, and they want you to do that because that eliminates the stress, right? So just understand, and I've talked to a lot of teams. A lot of teams is like, hey, I'm going to hire a buyer's agent, and I'm like, okay, well, what's the buyer's agent going to do for you? They're like, they're going to show property. Is that a buyer's agent or a showing assistant?
Showing
It's showing.
assistant.
Showing
Hey, Sarah,
assistant.
I was gonna say to add to your point, the last couple of deals, the buyers that I have under contract, I was proactive in sending them the property, the specific property they are under contract with. So even if I have them set up on MLS, I know they're not getting to it fast enough, or I want to be the one to be like, she's the one who, got me that house that I wanted. And they remember it. So, again, you got to be proactive. You got to be hunting these properties when they come on the market. You just got to be way ahead of it to show why you're valuable to your clients.
Gamify it, right,
Yeah,
Sammy?
and if I
Yes.
could add to that also too, I also during my buyer consult, I let them know that I'm going to proactively go out and look at homes without them ahead of time. So when I go out and I see something they like, I'll send them a text or I'll call them and say I just visit a home that I think you guys will love that will meet all your criteria. So a lot of times you'll see that they are surprised by that because no one ever really does it or tells them that. So I tell them that in the buyer consult, and then when I go out and do it, I give them a call or send them a text and say, hey, just went out and saw a property I think you guys will absolutely love. And I think they think that's a very personal touch that I'm doing it up front
You're
before them.
delivering the value. You're delivering what you said you're going to do, right? Which is awesome.
Right.
Yeah, y'all, I could go on and on about this. I want y'all to understand, like, people are like, well, I have a hard time explaining, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow. The or not tomorrow, next week, buyer representation agreement. And at the end of the day, yeah, if you want me to serve as your fiduciary, I'm going to ask you to sign this to get access to our off-market VIP program. And if you don't want me to do that for you right now, no big deal. I'm not going to go search for off market yet because we're not in a business partnership yet, right? I'm still a functionary in your mind, but if you want a fiduciary, then that's what this is going to look like. All right, everybody, we have to bounce. It's 8:32. Y'all make it a good one. Make it count. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.